Alright. Go to the radio hut to look for Scary Terry. That's what we're gonna do. It's morning, apparently.
Okay, now to find that radio hut.
Last episode, we found the 3 bodies out in the Perseverance Wilds, and the very last one, I made a mistake, and I triggered a cutscene, and probably missed out on a little bit of supplies, but I'm not terribly worried about it. Anyway, and we're gonna go check on the guy that does all the conspiracy
Looks like the way to the
theories.
radio hut.
But the way that it just, like, teleported us back, you know, Astrid's like, oh, I need to get this body back for examination, and it's just like, here you go, you're back home now. It's like, really? We had to go all that way, and there were timberwolves around us everywhere, and the game's just like, nah, don't worry about it, we'll just teleport you back, it's no big deal. Oh, this fucking thing. The one thing that everyone's been wanting in the game for basically the entirety of its existence. The thing to get around easy. I mean, I get that engines and stuff don't work because of the Aurora, but like, the game could at least give us a sled dog or something. I would gladly share resources with an animal if it would pull me on a sled with supplies on it, like, some Balto stuff. That would be cool. Like, even if the dog, like, could die, or could only go to certain areas, and you had to, like, uncouple it from the thing and bring it inside with you, like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to consider that you would have to dance around and work into the game, but that would be cool. And it would up the appeal rating of the game even further, because who doesn't love having a dog?
Must be that guy Terry's hut. A good place to hide out if you want to get away from people in town, I guess.
Well, there's a fire going. People say they haven't heard from him in a few days, so he's probably alive.
Smoke from the chimney. Good. Looks like someone's home.
Exactly. A second snowmobile. Okay. Let's head on in if we are allowed to.
Look, I'm gonna bring them back, okay? I promise.
Excuse me, are you Terry?
Yeah, look, you didn't have to come all the way up here. I just need them for a bit longer, and then I'll bring them back. Wait, you're here about the batteries, right?
Batteries?
Yeah, car batteries. I just needed some fresh ones. It's like 9 out of 10 are completely fried, so it takes a while to find enough to get it working.
I'm not here about the batteries.
Okay, so... Wait, who are you anyway?
Get what working?
Huh?
You said it takes a while to find enough batteries to get it working.
Oh! You better come inside, because that's a story.
I mean, I don't smoke weed, but the dude just wasted like half of an entire blunt. Just casually, in a world where resources are probably
So about
super
10
rare.
days ago,
Why am I nitpicking
Doc
that?
Larson asked me to start broadcasting a quarantine message. He was worried about what he was seeing in the town. Some weird sickness, people going missing, something with the dogs too. You know, it's not the kind of thing I usually do with the radio, but I could tell it was important.
So this is before the power went out.
Yeah, before the lights in the sky and all the electronics went dead.
Oh, interesting.
So, how did I hear you?
Huh?
I heard your message from the radio tower in Pleasant Valley after the lights in the sky.
Right, so even though the power was dead, some things were still working. Not well, but well enough. Lights flickering. The TV or radio in your house would suddenly come to life and then die again, almost as quickly. And I'm pretty sure that's even what triggered the fire at the mill.
People in town seem to think it was arson.
I think they want to believe that, because it's easier than thinking everything electronic is suddenly trying to kill us, right? Anyway, I realized that if I hooked up a car battery to the radio, it wouldn't flicker on and off and on and off as much when the aurora was in the sky. So I grabbed all the batteries I could find and have been using them to power my transmitter, to broadcast the quarantine message like Doc Larson asked me to. And other stuff.
What other stuff did you do with the radio?
Okay, so anyway, I've been broadcasting this message for days. Doc Larson had gone missing by then, and people were freaking out. People were going missing. Some turned up dead. We didn't know what to do about the quarantine. So I kept broadcasting, but this time asking for help. And then out of the blue, I got a response.
You did?
Yeah, some guy. He asked about a doctor? He was cutting in and out.
Right. He was looking for me.
Whoa. Okay. I tried to tell him Doc Larson was already missing. I could hear him, but he couldn't hear me.
So that's the conversation I overheard.
Okay, but that's not the interesting thing.
There's more.
Yeah. Two things. First thing, a few days ago, I picked up a distress signal. I couldn't make sense of it, because it was a lot of gibberish and maybe not all of it in English. I don't know, I was a little high. Then, I realized it was coming from a ship, but it wasn't on any of the normal frequencies, and it didn't make sense.
Did they broadcast coordinates?
No. But I was able to figure it out, based on signal strength. The signal came from the bay just north of town. Desperation Bay. I meant to check it out myself, but frankly, I'm scared as shit to leave this place. I think there's probably a murderer out there.
Point it out on a map and I'll see what I can find. What's the second thing?
Okay, second thing. This one is especially cool, like something big. About a week ago, I was just minding my own business, rotating the shortwave around to see what I could pick up. And something absolutely massive came through. This was just before the power went out, now that I think about it.
What do you think it was?
No idea. But whatever it was, the signal was powerful enough to take out my favorite unit. I've never seen anything like it. Just fried it, just then and there. I mean, I had to dust off this archaic museum piece to keep broadcasting it. It literally uses vacuum tubes, for crying out loud. How else am I gonna keep calling for a doctor or someone to help protect us from the murderer?
Terry, what do you think the signal was?
I've never seen or heard anything like it before. Signal monitor was off the charts. It just buried the needle and then some. I'm telling you, I don't know what it was, but what I can tell you is...
Yes, Terry?
It came from up there.
If this actually is aliens,
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
that would be the most hilarious bullshit ending ever.
Cargo ship, mysterious radio signal, Desperation Bay.
Surely to God they won't cop out and be like, aliens, but if they do, that would be fucking hilarious. Anyway. Okay, so now we need to go to... Okay, so now it looks like... Yeah, we can go... Okay, we can go up there now. Gotcha. Alright. Unfortunately, the problem with this game is... Or not this game, the story is that... It's kind of conflicting. It's a little confusing, and it's taken so long for them to put out all 5 chapters that, I mean, there was a refresher at the beginning, with the cutscene, but you really don't remember a lot of the smaller details and stuff unless you go back and start from the beginning and play it all over again, which I'm not going to do. But one thing that does have me curious is, in the sandbox, version of this game, there's an entire story on its own with Rudiger and Rudiger's machine and the government agent trying to track him down and figure it all out, and people dying. And that was actually kind of interesting. Does that have anything to do with this? Or are those two completely standalone things opposite of each other that have nothing in common? We're not going to even hear the name Rudiger in this story because this is its own thing, you know. I don't know. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I truly have no idea. And also, it's a little cold outside. I think I might step into the constable's office and warm up real quick before we head on. Or whatever this place was called.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
And while we do that, we will just harvest. There we go. Don't need another pair of socks, though. I'll leave them here. Is there anything else we can drop that we really just don't need? Probably the arrows. Drop that can of fuel. Don't need 2 knives. Really don't honestly need a bow or arrows. I'll just leave those here too. That's probably good. Yeah, we'll eat a little food. That'll also help with our overall weight. And I've got a lot of coffee too, Jesus. Okay. Good enough. For now, I think. Yeah. Alright. Let me up. So we need to... Here? No. Here. So yeah, I am pretty curious as to whether or not the whole, you know, Rudiger thing is going to overlap with this. I don't remember for sure if Rudiger's machine and all that had anything to do with causing what is happening, you know, as far as the electronics being out and all that. I was kind of the impression, personally, that all of this was caused, you know, by an aurora event, you know, maybe a solar flare hitting the Earth and just obliterating electronics as a result. That was the impression I've always had. And me being me, I may have missed something completely obvious somewhere along the line, and maybe I did. I don't remember for sure. But I'm also willing to accept that maybe it was Rudiger's machine that caused this, because he was building something crazy. And maybe it's not the entire world. Maybe it's just this section of, you know, Great Bear in Canada, and maybe it's not planetary or planet-wide. Like, I really am not sure. Where'd that wolf go? Am I crazy? Oh, there it is. Okay. Don't know what scared him off. I didn't do anything. Well, I had the pistol out, I guess. Maybe that did it. Okay. Had to include that so we could remember that they included a climbing animation. Funny rabbit. There they are. There's a tree bridge there. Wait. Huh? Did I totally miss a turn? Am I stupid? Oh, right there. Okay. Wow. I don't get why they put so many, like, random red herring paths in this game, but whatever. And I also need to look into, like I said in the previous episode, I meant to and forgot. I just immediately kind of ended it and started recording again. But I need to look into whether or not they've taken out the moose hide satchel in the game. Or maybe I just wasn't looking in the right spot or something.
Okay.
Okay. More cattails, in case you're hungry. I'm not gonna waste time grabbing them, but they're there. This is where we need to go. All right. This is the first time we've used the lantern. Okay. How many branching paths are we going to be forced to deal with? Because personally, if this is the end up here, I'd be A-okay with that. I don't want to have to get lost in a cave and wander around further. However, you know what? No, not that. Let me... Well, after I find a place we can put it... Can you really not put a bedroll down anywhere in this cave? There's no way. Did they, like, remove the ability? Okay, I was gonna say, surely to God, they didn't, like, take out the ability to put bedrolls down in caves, because that would be horrible. Just wanted to sleep a couple of hours. There we go. Because once our fatigue meter gets below 50%, our overall weight capacity starts going down. And I don't want to deal with that. Alright, Desperation Bay. So it looks like it's a main road, and it's just it's just a big coastline. Okay, so it's kind of like Coastal Highway. It looks like. Probably even has the same lighthouse, if I had to guess. Now, what would be cool would be if we could see other parts of the map from this side, you know, like if we could see Coastal Highway's lighthouse from here or something. I think that would be a neat little Easter egg, or not an Easter egg really, but kind of just a neat little thing. This lighthouse is much bigger and much nicer than the one in Coastal Highway, though.
A cargo ship. Looks like it's locked in the ice. How do I get out there? That must be the ship Terry heard the message from.
I wonder if that's going to be the same ship that the trader in the sandbox uses. I don't know. I never interacted with the trader that much because his deals were ridiculous. And I had no need for them. Okay. Alright, so we've got ourselves a little abode here. I probably didn't have to sleep in the cave, but I didn't know. You need to be prepared in this game for anything. There's like no water in this toilet. You used to be able to get water out of these water jug things too, but I guess,
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
oh my god, the 4 little tiny drawers, come on. I mean, I know it betters my chances for stuff, but I would almost just rather have one big drawer.
I'll take it.
Alright, don't need another pan, or don't need another water pot.
Good. A map.
Oh.
Looks like the lighthouse overlooks Desperation Bay.
It do. Up or down? Down. Jesus. Dark as hell in here. I didn't know lighthouses went down into the ground like this. Tunnels. Oh, okay. Well, shit. I should have went up first, because there ain't gonna be no tunnels at the top. It's kind of neat that this lighthouse has a underground tunnel connected to the other part of the map. I thought I heard breathing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining things. I was gonna say, this cannot be it. There's gotta be more. I don't need another hunting knife, though. Let's see what's up top. Maybe there's some ammunition or something. Lantern fuel. More leather that I actually don't need, shockingly. I'm really good on leather. That's gonna be super duper thin ice anywhere out there on that. Okay. I guess. Not to keep beating a dead horse, but like one of the things that's kind of I don't know what the word is. It's not really like annoying or irritating, but it's like, you know, collecting all these supplies, and then never really having to use most of it because, again, this is a story mode. So, like, you know, saving the leather to repair better clothing when I find it, and then it's like, well, you'll be, you know, the story's gonna either swap over to Mackenzie or just end, and then it'll all just be for nothing because you didn't have to collect it anyways. I don't know. You know, it's just kind of like, it's on rails, so why are you trying so hard?
A rugged coastline.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure that walking on any of that ice is just going to result in us falling through it. I haven't fallen through ice in a while. It's been a minute since I've not been paying attention and gotten myself soaked and frozen. Fortunately, it's not usually fatal, as far as I can tell. You're soaking wet, and you immediately, I think, have the hypothermia risk. And you need to get somewhere dry and warm yourself up by a fire, but that's pretty much all there is to it. Got a little something in here. Cotton scarf.
Nobody needs this anymore.
No. Alright, nothing. Big fat nothing. Nothing we need, anyways. So I guess for the moment, we're just making our way around the coast towards the container ship, the cargo ship, as far as I can tell. Whole lot of nothing going on. I guess I'll end the episode here then, and in the next one, we'll see what that brings us. Thanks for watching.